So that's what you would prefer, is that customers order online and then either indicate they'll pick it up in store or that you'll deliver it to them.
So obviously the beer and wine will have to be across the counter at the
Uh-huh.
POS from the cashier. So that's just a separate transaction unless you order the sandwich at the same time. We're going to have the whole, scan. You can pull up your camera, scan the QR code. You can order from your device, etc. That order will go to our kitchen display system in the back, right? So the whole contactless piece, but you'll also be able to order from the cashier as well, and we'll have like tap to pay, etc. So very COVID and safety friendly.
Got it. So when I look at the floor plan, there's, not that much indicated in the retail store, but there's a, is it point of sale counter? So somebody would walk in and the food gets moved back. And then it looks like you're putting a new wall and door between the A and B spaces. And right now it looks like there's a restroom on the north side of the space. And so I thought, okay, there's a door going in there. How is the food getting from the kitchen in the back to the retail in the front without having to go through a restroom? Is that coming out? I mean,
So
I'm just for a public health, sanitation perspective.
great question. So from the two separate spaces, we've been on a journey with the team within the village and the North Shore Health Department, and Brad similarly with food, and we were doing everything from a pass through, etc. And we ended up having to separate the spaces to be able to allow dogs into space. And frankly, we put in a second HVAC system just to accommodate. But because it's such a pillar of what we're trying to do for dog lovers and the dog experience, etc., it was something that we thought, although not ideal operationally, we're gonna have to walk the food around.
Say that again. You'll walk the food.
Yeah, although not ideal operationally, we're gonna have to walk the food around.
So you go out the back door and then come around the front to deliver.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I just wanted to make sure that food was not going from the kitchen, passing through the bathroom to get to
that would not be good.
Yeah, I thought the health department might have an issue with that. And then I wasn't sure which hours we are approving. The 3 to 3.5 hours, since your plans are to expand that time frame in the future. Are we being asked to approve the longer hours versus so that they don't have to come back? Maybe that's a question for Bart.
Correct. Yes, the intention is to approve the potential hours, and when they expand into them, then they would not need a re-review. So my expectation would be to approve the 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week plan.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question. So just to be clear, all the food goes out the back door, whether it's delivery in your vehicle or to some point of service customer in the front, and you're walking around the block with the food to the front door?
There's two routes. There's one along the block, and there in between there's an alley, a narrow alley as well, that under the right conditions I can walk through shoulder width, etc., and go through.
Okay, and I'm sure that's all fine with the health department, that the food is going outside and then it's delivered inside?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. And obviously with the dogs, that's all gone through the health department too. Dogs will be in the front and the food will come in the front also.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. So anyone else?
Kathy, thank you for your questions too. We explored every option, and we partnered the whole way, right? So we were
like, you really can't just punch a hole through that wall. I mean,
a bank drawer, right? We even looked at, and to be honest with you, we took that all the way up to the state, and we weren't able to get that done.
Amazing. Okay. Anyone else?
No.
Okay, then I think we're ready for a vote. We do a roll call on this. Is that correct, Crystal?
I would prefer,
I don't know if we have to, but we can.
I would prefer it, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Will you call the roll, please?
Sure. So trustee Stokebrand,
Aye.
Eric Kudo. Is Eric still with us?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. All right, Therese. Is Therese with us?
I'm here. Yep.
Oh, there you are. All right, Barbara. Sangita.
Aye.
And Dan.
Aye.
All right, all yeses.
And the motion passes. Congratulations and good luck.
All right, thanks, John and Jessica.
Thank you
very
so much. Have a
Appreciate
great
the
evening.
questions.
Thank you.
Should we move to 6A, Bart?
Sure. So once again, we'll come back to 4A and 4B after we get through the rest of the agenda, just based on those that we see are present. So items, let me get to my agenda. Items 6A and 6B may be considered together. Item 6A is a public hearing consideration of the conditional use permit application for proposed second drive-through lane to be located on commercial property 1325 East Capitol Drive in the village of Shorewood, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, tax ID 27510880000. I will open the public hearing at 6:53 p.m. And as standard, I will read the staff report that was prepared for this item. So project and parcel overview, George Dimitropoulos on behalf of Culvers of Shorewood has applied to install a second ordering point to the existing drive-through operations at the rear of the commercial property located at 1325 East Capitol Drive. The approximate 1.3 acre site, 57,840 square feet, is developed with a 4,738 square foot restaurant with drive-through operations. The site also has a front-facing patio for outdoor dining and a screened refuse area at the rear. The property is zoned B3 Commercial Use District. The B3 Mixed Use Commercial District is intended to provide opportunities for mixed-use development. I feel like I might have copied this wrong, so I apologize. While encouraging commercial development, the district provides maximum flexibility by allowing buildings with exclusively commercial uses, buildings with exclusively residential uses, and mixed-use buildings with commercial on the first floor. Drive-through restaurants are specifically listed as a conditional use district 53527L. Although the site already has an approved drive-through restaurant or a drive-through, the village's conditional use language states that no alteration, extension, or other modification of a conditional use shall be permitted unless specifically approved by the Plan Commission. Any application for an alteration, extension, or other modification will be filed and processed as an original application under this section 53525F. The alteration of the existing drive-through operation must therefore be approved by the Plan Commission. Exterior modifications to the site include a new landscape island to separate the two ordering point lanes, which will require the elimination of 6 parking spaces. Additional signage associated with the second ordering point will also be installed. Both of those improvements require review and approval from the Design Review Board. No interior renovations are proposed. Proposed operations. Culvers has been in operation at this site since 2002. They operate 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Typically, dine-in, carry-out, and drive-through services are offered. With this application, Culvers is proposing to add a second ordering point to their drive-through operations in order to be able to capture orders quicker and reduce parking lot congestion and backed up traffic onto East Capitol Drive. Culvers has indicated that their overall transactions have remained relatively consistent over the last 5 years, but more guests are now choosing to utilize their carryout and drive-through operation options. They have indicated that this is an overall trend in the Culvers system, which is also being witnessed industry-wide in the restaurant business. This has put more pressure on their drive-through operations and resulted in more congestion. Culvers has also indicated that COVID-19 has brought about many challenges to their business, including a decision to suspend operations within their dining room and lobby for the safety of their customers. As a result, drive-through and curbside ordering has increased. Curbside ordering will be eliminated in the winter months, which is projected to add further congestion to their drive-through operations. The addition of the second ordering point is intended to relieve that congestion so that it does not back up onto East Capitol Drive. Culvers believes that COVID-19 will have lasting effects on consumer behavior moving forward. With the second ordering point, Culvers believes they will be able to capture orders faster, which will speed up service and reduce wait time and congestion. They anticipate no additional traffic into or out of their lot. Their goal is to ease congestion, avoid backups at their entrance, and offer a better customer experience. Parking for 53547D7, restaurants require 20 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet of sit-down area. The indoor seating area of the restaurant is approximately 2,000 square feet, which would require 40 parking spaces. There are currently 77 parking spaces on the site, 4 of which are ADA compliant. The site also features 2 bike racks along East Capitol Drive, which are to remain. With the proposed modifications, 71 parking spaces would remain, including all 4 ADA compliant stalls. Additional stalls along the northeastern portion of the lot would be reserved for cars awaiting drive-through orders. With that, once again, I will not review the review and approval section. We did receive 1 comment from the public, which once again, I will read into the record. I am writing to voice, or once again, this is from Scott Cameron. I am writing to voice support for additional second drive-through lane for 1325 East Capitol Drive. The summer backups on Capitol, I feel, create an unsafe environment for pedestrians and are insufficient for vehicular traffic heading eastbound. With that, I will, I guess I will ask the applicants if they have any response to the staff report or the initial comment before opening it up to further public comment. I see Dimitri and Joseph Mayer are also on the phone.
Hi there, this is Dimitri. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, as you stated, I mean, our goal is to try to get things to run a little bit more efficiently through our lot. And having that second order point in the back of the restaurant, which will be behind the existing drive-through, is just the purpose is try to get customers through a little bit easier, get people off the street, and just kind of get rid of some of the congestion that we do have in a lot. The second ordering point, which will be behind the existing ordering station, won't even be visible at all from Capitol Drive.
If there's no further comment from the applicant, are there any members of the public on the call that would like to speak on this item? If so, please state your name and your address. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 6:59 p.m. And I will open up item 6B for Plan Commission consideration of the conditional use permit. And I will turn it back over to Trustee Stokebrand to moderate conversation.
Thank you, Director Grippentrog. Is there anyone on the commission that has a question or something to discuss? I did have a question. So do we think that, I mean, clearly you were able to look at the numbers of cars backed up on Capitol. Do you have any idea on a busy day, will this cut it in half, eliminate it? What's your best guess?
You know, our goal is to eliminate it. You know, and part of it right now is, the dining room isn't open as well. So, further down the road, when a dining room does get open, some people will come in order to go as well, which, adds congestion in the lot as far as people trying to park and pull out with the drive-through line within the lot. So having a second order point will pull, hopefully pull most of the cars off of Capitol Drive and kind of solve that problem. And will also help, within the flow within the existing lot that we have as well.
And also, I just would also note that we've also been doing outside curbside order taking, which still, we still have backups on Capitol Drive. So we're actually doing outside with walkie-talkies, but that's obviously, going into the fall and winter, we're not going to be able to sustain that as well. Before doing that, right when COVID hit, I mean, seeing cars up to the bridge wasn't uncommon. So once we did do that, it cut a lot of the, congestion out. But, at times now, as we're still seeing cars, on Capitol Drive and whatnot. And the bottleneck always being the ordering process and the speaker. So by adding a second speaker, being able to take 2 orders at the same time, the kitchen's able to start the orders quicker, the cars move along faster, and just, overall faster service times. Because even the congestion on Capitol Drive, we're not happy about that, and nor are we, with a huge congestion in the lot, as maybe some of you folks, have been by, you park sometimes, and, it's kind of hard backing out when the drive-through line is even to the entrance, so.
I would assume Corner Bakery wasn't too happy about it either. Anybody else have a question? You've seen these, they've probably done the double drive-throughs at other locations.
Yes.
Yeah, I have some, I mean, I looked at it, it looks like it's something, like they said, we can't even see. It's back there. You can look at the amount of cars they'll be able to accommodate. So if we don't have a lot more questions, I'd make a motion on this one too.
I have a question about the noise. So there's some houses just in the neighborhood there.
Sorry, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Well,
I have a question
Okay.
about the noise.
Thank you. Go ahead, Teresa. Thank you.
All right. So the question about the noise on the drive-through, there's some neighbors in the area. I don't know if anybody's written in or on the call, but I've lived by fast food restaurants before and want to hear your plans for how to handle the extra noise that comes with the drive-through. The cars pull up and the speaker blaring through the window.
As far as the only complaints we've gotten over the years, as far as noise, and as you know, to the east, we've got the huge retaining wall and some houses on the top. The only complaints we've gotten in the past is about our garbage pickups. You know, so we've altered those times where, you know, they're not coming at 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. You know, you've got a huge dumpster crashing down and that sort of thing. But we've never had a complaint from the speaker. I mean, literally, if you're like 40, 30 feet back, you can't even hear what's going on at the speaker. So the house is being on top of the hill there. Like I said, I'm just sitting across the parking lot. I can't even hear the speaker myself.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it too, the two ordering points are probably about 14 feet apart, and you can't even hear the person placing an order from one speaker to the other. You know,
So are there volume controls? You clearly would have a volume.
Yeah,
control.
there is. And I mean, the speakers, you know, about a foot away from the car. So those aren't turned up very loud.
But for some reason they were too loud. We could adjust it. And obviously if they were that loud, the guest coming through the drive-through would be feeling uncomfortable if, you know, the voice was too loud, but they are adjustable, yes.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else questions? Okay, I guess, go ahead, Barb.
I have one quick question. The new landscape islands, is that what's going to screen the second lane and the equipment, the menu board, so on from Capitol Drive?
Right now, even without landscaping, the second drive-through lane would not even be visible. But yes, by adding landscaping as well, it'll help screen, you know, the second line of the cars and add, you know, a little bit of that buffer zone like we discussed.
Okay. Yeah, I thought if you maybe were a little bit further west on Capitol and coming, you know, approaching the restaurant, that maybe you could see them from that angle. But with the landscaping, that will probably help to hide that.
Absolutely, sure.
Equipment.
Yeah, no, we'll add the line. We love landscaping, as you guys know, if you've been through the lot. So there'll be plenty of it back there.
Okay, thank you.
And
My
so
pleasure.
will it be clear when the two lanes have to merge, obviously, right? Or
Correct.
can they just go out of the lane and go to one of those waiting spots, or will it be clear to people?
It'll be clear. We're going to have, you know, markings down on the pavement, you know, with arrows in direction, you know, and when we first started, as far as to get the guest aware and used to using it, you know, we'll probably have some people outside just directing traffic, just making sure people know what to do.
But with many of our competitors, I mean, you see, you know, the 2 into 1 lane is a pretty common occurrence now, and double drive-throughs in the restaurant business have become pretty much the norm with, you know, most of the quick serve and fast food, you know, restaurants these days.
Yeah, page 38 in the packet does have a proposed site plan showing, you know, how it would function. So I think it's pretty standard in terms of drive-through merging.
It almost looks like the original site was designed so you could add a second lane.
Yeah, it worked out that way pretty well.
Are we ready to take a vote? I don't see any hands on my panel. So Crystal, would you please call the roll?
Wait, do we have?
Sorry.
I didn't actually read the motion because
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll read my motion. I move to approve the conditional use permit application for the proposed second drive-through lane to be located on commercial property 1325 East Capitol Drive, based on meeting the conditions stipulated in 53525 Charlie.
I'll
Thank
second.
you for that. And the second, thank you. Would you please call the roll, Crystal?
Sure. Trustee Stokebrand,
Aye.
Eric Kudo,
Aye.
Therese Klein,
Aye.
Barbara Kylie Miller,
Aye.
Sangeeta Patel,
Aye.
Dan Wickland.
Aye.
Passes 6-0.
Okay,
Great.
thank you, and thank you for coming to the meeting.
All right.
Thank you very much for your
Thanks for
support, and we're going to make this a flawless experience, and we want to just keep being an asset to the village as we have for almost 20 years now. It's gone by so fast; it's unbelievable. It just Dimitri and I remember the initial meetings was just trying to get the original restaurant open, and it's just things fly by. I know we've got guests who used to be little kids that are coming in with their own kids now, and that sort of thing. So it's been a great great community to do business in.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. So with that, we will revert back on our agenda to item 4A and 4B. 4A is a public hearing. Consideration of conditional use permit application to operate a seasonal tree lot at commercial property 4121 North Golden Drive in the Village of Shorewood, Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, tax ID 2409979-000. I will open the public hearing at 7:08 p.m. by reading in the project and parcel overview and proposed operations. From at least 2010 through 2018, the Village of Shorewood allowed the sale of trees and holiday accessories within parking lot B of the River Park Municipal Parking Lot. Those sales were permitted by an agreement between the Village Board and Ideal Property Management. An original agreement was made on November 2nd, 2018 and lasted December 20th, 2017. In 2018, the Village Board extended that agreement for 1 year to align with the previously granted conditional use and allow a test for compatibility with its recently enacted snow dumping practices in Lot C. On October 2016, the Plan Commission approved the sale of such items as a conditional use, interpreting the request as an unclassified atypical temporary use. The approval was granted through the end of 2018. In 2019, in light of larger village discussions pertaining to holiday seasonal decorations on public property between the Village Board and the Human Relations Commission, Rick Dassow, doing business as Ideal Property Management, opted to apply for the temporary sale within parking lot at the former North Shore American Legion post at 4121 North Wilson Drive. Since this site was not located on public property, it did not require Village Board approval, but did still require Plan Commission approval of the temporary use. That permission was granted by the Plan Commission at the Plan Commission's November 11, 2019 meeting. A similar application has been made for 2020. The previous allowances for the temporary tree and decoration sales were approved by the Plan Commission through a conditional use permit as a quote unclassified use similar to a permitted use per 535-10B. The site is zone B3, which permits retail uses such as florists and specialty retail stores. The approval was also in conjunction with 535-10C2, which states that persons may apply to the Plan Commission for a temporary use in any district, provided that such uses are of temporary nature, do not involve the erection of a substantial structure, and are compatible with the neighboring uses. Proposed operations. Mr. Dassow has submitted the attached plan of operations, which details his desire to begin setup of the operation on Wednesday, November 11th, with sales to start Friday, November 20th. It would be open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. through Wednesday, December 23rd. The site will be cleared and cleaned by Saturday, December 26th. During operations, a construction trailer will be placed on the site to act as an office. A porta potty would also be on site. The building will not be utilized. Snow fencing would be installed to delineate the perimeter of the inventory display area. Many fluorescent lights would also be strung and holiday music would be played. Neither are expected nor would they be allowed to disturb neighboring properties. The Village of Shorewood Police Department has access to 8 parking spaces along the north side of the building, including their only ADA compliant stall through this parking lot. As a result, the proposed layout of the tree lot includes an accessible aisle along the east and south of the property. This aisle may also be utilized by customers for customer parking and pickup. Through a prior agreement, the village's Department of Public Works provides snow removal to this lot. Last year, the DPW was able to provide snow removal with a skid steer to areas not occupied by tree scales with this configuration. Snow removal within the lot area will not be provided. Parking. Per 535-50 code provisions related to required parking facilities shall only apply to new buildings or structures and substantially altered buildings or structures. The proposed occupancy does not qualify for either. Customers may drive into the lot and nearby street parking is also available. Once again, I won't review the review and approval standards. Is there an applicant on the phone call to respond or add to my staff report reading?
Yes, my name is Rick Dassow. I'm on board here.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Rick. If you have any comments or questions on my report, you can provide them now. Otherwise, we can turn it over to public comment and eventual plan commission discussion.
I think it was very accurate. I think we had a great experience there. Scott Lurie, the owner, was real conducive to us taking up space there. And I think with the police department and the interaction there, I thought it was quite successful last year.
Okay, thanks, Rick. I did receive one email comment once again submitted, so I will read that in to the record. It's from the same applicant, or from the same resident, I should say, Scott Cameron. Very simple. I'm in favor of the conditional use permit for the tree lot at 4121 North Wilson Drive. Are there any other members of the public on the call that would like to speak on this item? If not, I will close the public hearing at 7:13 p.m. and turn it back over to Trustee Stokebrand to lead Plan Commission consideration of the item.
Thank you, Director Grippentraub. Do we have any questions from any of the commissioners? Concerns? It looks like everything is exactly the same as last year. Is that correct, Bart?
Correct.
I have a question. Just
Mr. Kudo?
yep. I know that we this lot moved from Oakland and it was sort of referenced in the application. Was that ever figured out at the village board level that they were not allowing that?
That was never finalized, and Mr. Dassel, the applicant, has chosen to apply at this site, so it doesn't need to be, approved by the village board if it's on this private property. My understanding is the next village board meeting will take up that conversation once again to confirm the village's policy on decorations on public property.
Just for context, I also think it had something to do that was pretty innocuous as well. As there was a decision made to dump snow. That was a new location for excess snow during large snow events, and there was a chance that if we got one early enough, it might impact the availability of the space too. So I think just for context, I think that was part of it as well.
Correct. The 2018 agreement that we had with Mr. Dassel and it included a clause that if we needed to kick him off early for any reason, primarily due to snow storage, that we had the ability to do so. Thankfully, we did not have to do that in 2018. But yes, if we were to reconsider at that location, that clause would need to be in there. And, if we get a large snowstorm on Thanksgiving, he potentially would not be able to function. So this would alleviate that concern as well.
Yeah, but to Eric's point, that's going to be decided, right? Because if something ever gets developed here, it's nice, Scott's letting him do it there, but if we want to keep trees here, we're going to have to, or the village board is going to have to figure that out, correct?
Correct.
And if I'm not mistaken, is that going to be a construction site with that southeast sewer project for 1.5 years, I believe? I could be wrong about those dates, but I'm not sure it's all of it, but it's a significant part of River Park that's going to be taken up for that construction project. So that would, besides excess snow from they used to be on Wilson Drive, I believe. And that was gone when they redid Wilson Drive. And so now the excess snow is at River Park. And with the construction project starting there, I believe in 2021, it would be complicated.
That is correct, yes.
Any further discussion?
I have a question, or maybe two. So I know that this lot, I've seen the condos proposed by the new owner on that site. So I assume that construction is not going to begin until after the first of the year on those. And that's why the lot is still available over here on Wilson Drive at the moment. Is that correct?
I mean, correct. No permits have been submitted for actual construction. Is that they need to secure at least 50% sale of those units before they would start construction. And to this point, we have not received an application indicating that they've gotten that far. So correct, there would be no construction there at least through this lot sale.
Okay, great. And then the applicant mentioned that it was a good experience last year, and I just wanted to reconfirm. It looks like there's only one entrance and exit to that lot. So with customers coming in and loading trees onto or their vehicles, that didn't create any problems with the police parking getting in and out. Just wanted to confirm that everything worked out okay.
I surely would have loved more space there, but we did leave a large enough margin for vehicles to pull in and pull out safely. It seemed to work well.
Okay.
And
Thank
the
you.
application was reviewed, the application was given to both the police department and public works, and no issues were noted. So it seems like everything was fine last year. The police,
Right.
I think, uses the north side of their building less now that the phase 2 of their actual building is completed. So most cars actually enter and exit on the south of the property. So if there were any issues last year, we didn't receive it, but I'd expect even less this year if there are, possibilities.
Okay. Then I would like to make a motion to approve the conditional use permit application to operate a seasonal tree lot and commercial property 4121 North Wilson Drive based on meeting the conditions stipulated in 535-25C.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, Crystal, will you please call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Stokbrand,
Aye.
Eric Kudo,
Aye.
Therese Klein,
Aye.
Barbara Kiley Miller, Sangeeta Patel,
Aye.
and Dan Wickland.
Aye.
Vote approved.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Rick.
Thank you all for your time and Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay, Bart, did you have anything you wanted to do on number 7? Update on the comprehensive plan?
Yeah, so I just wanted to provide a verbal kind of report as to where we're at with this project. You've obviously been doing a lot of work in reviewing draft chapters. It had been my intent to, finalize those drafts so that the consultant and I can provide a final draft for a public open house in October or November. That is not going to be the case. My time has been allocated elsewhere. And in meeting with the village manager this past week, we reviewed our Q3 financial reports and our remainder 2020 work plans. It was determined that I do not have enough time to get there. So we are proposing that I will work with the consultant in November and December to finalize the draft document, at which point we hope to have a public open house early January. We don't think having an open house in the middle of a holiday season is going to be very fruitful for public review and comment anyways. So we're hoping that I can work with a consultant to get that final draft done to then advertise for a mid-January kind of public meeting on that, and then bring that draft back to the Plan Commission at their January Plan Commission meeting. So we are essentially moving this down the road 2 months, but in consideration of everything else that's going on, we don't want to rush this process through. We want to make sure that we have everything accurate. So just like I said, I met with the village manager this past week, and that was our determination. So just wanted to be honest with expectations on this, that we will bring it back to you end of this year, early next year for a public meeting. And at which point you'll be able to, review the chapters once again for completeness. So just wanted to provide that verbal update to everyone here. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to respond.
So can you just go through, when will we see the next, we've been through all the chapters that we did the ones with Van de Waal and we did the ones that you did. And when will those changes be ready for us to look at? Is that in January?
My hope is before then. My hope is to, so I'm also working with our GIS consultant MSA to get the maps that we've requested for it. So my hope is that all 3 of those components are ready mid to end of December. Once again, we don't think that's a good time to have any sort of public engagement meeting. So as soon as that draft is ready, it'll be posted on our website. I'll share it with you. We would like people to be able to review it before they get to that public engagement meeting. So if they have questions, they can come with those. So my hope is by the end of this year, that will be drafted and available for your review or at least consideration.
And so would you make it available to us and to the public at the same time?
Correct.
Okay. And then, so do we have a future, so when would that go to the board then?
So yeah, if the public engagement meeting in January and the village and the plan commission recommendation is positive at the end of January, we need a 30-day wait period before we can actually consider approving it. So we would, after the plan commission meeting, start that 30-day clock. It'd probably come either the first or second meeting in March, depending on how that timing works out. If that's how it works. If it needs to come back to the plan commission in February, so be it. But we are hopeful that still early next year, we can have this thing to the board for consideration.
And does that meet the state requirement? I, for some reason, was thinking we had a January.
Yes, you are correct. So we technically should have this approved by the village board. I want to say January 20th or something of that nature to comply with the 10-year requirement. However, there really are no penalties for not doing it. And since we're working on it, the board, the Department of Administration has said that there's no reason to believe that we should have any issues with it. The only concern that we might have would be any sort of zoning changes would need to be compliant with our comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan at that point would be expired, so we couldn't do zoning changes until that is confirmed. So those will come to the plan commission anyways, so it's still kind of all in your court at that point.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? So would we plan on meeting? Does it just depend on what kind of applications we get between now and the end of the year?
Correct. Yeah. So if we receive another conditional use permit or zoning application, we would meet in November or December. Barring that not happening, we might not need to meet. I can communicate my updates to you through an email when they are ready, but we wouldn't need to meet on them necessarily. So if we receive no applications, this could be the final meeting of the year. Otherwise, we could have 2 meetings in November and December as well.
Okay, thank you then. So if there are no applications, we should just look in mid to late December for the draft of the comprehensive plan. Look for a mid-January public hearing on it, or a public
meeting, not
public meeting, which
Yep.
will be a Zoom, right?
Correct. Well, most likely everything will still be virtual, I would imagine.
And so it would be a plan commission host meeting that would be a public meeting. It would be the commission meeting, right? Or
Well, it'd be a village meeting. The plan commission obviously is welcome to attend, but it would not be a plan commission meeting. It'd just be a public engagement meeting.
okay. And then how do you said then it would go back to us or to the village board?
Correct. So then we would hopefully have the time to incorporate any feedback from that engagement meeting into the revised draft to present a final time to you as the recommending body at your January meeting.
Right, so that'd be late January.
Correct.
And then the
Yep.
30-day clock starts.
Yep.
And then it would probably go to the village board early March.
Correct.
Okay, thanks for all the clarification. Any future agenda items from anyone here?
Yeah, I just want to say that was the least controversial meeting we've ever had. It was really exciting. So I don't know, that's not a future agenda item unless we want to do awards at some point. So
Anything with Culver's goes down really smooth, right? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Mr. Kudo, second by Mr. Weichland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Right.